Friday, when the total climbed over $19 trillion.
That's a $56,000 burden for each of us.
President Obama is set to unveil a $4 trillion budget for 2016.
Wisconsin U.S. Senator Ron Johnson says that we could add $126 trillion in new debt over the next 30 years.
You're looking at an unemployment rate around 23%.
I have to feed my family, and I think a lot of people around the United States feel the same way.
And right now, I live in a country where the government does whatever it wants to do.
You don't hear too many elected officials talking about it because if they actually describe that harsh reality, we'll have to do something about it, and that's not real popular.
The Texas Nationalist movement is in the middle of a cross-state campaign tonight to push for independence, and
they believe Texas could make it on its own.
Texans are tired of answering to bureaucrats in D.C. that they didn't elect.
They want to take Texas back.
We'd be the 46th largest country in the world, the 17th leading oil producer, the 15th largest economy. We've got our own Air Force. They build F-16s in Fort Worth. Wonder what Sam Houston would think.
Independence. I like that.
These folks think Texas' sunniest days are ahead.
And good evening, everyone. I am here for a late night coffee talk. I'm Daniel Miller, president of the Texas Nationalist movement. For those of you who are brand spanking new and do not know who I am or what this is about, this is my weekly decompress via live stream that I'm sharing with you guys. It's kind of like my midday break, hence late night, which it's technically not really late for me. It is for some of you, but not necessarily for me. But it's time for me to step back for a little bit, for about an hour, and have a cup of coffee and just decompress with you. Hopefully supporters of the TNM and TEXIT and what we do, and if not, at least inquirers, because for all of you trolls, Banhammer is at the ready. It's literally right there, right over here. So you get out of hand, I'll get a message, and then I get to personally knock you out of the box. It's fun, right? Well, hey, thank you so much for joining me this week. You know, last week I was a day late for reasons. It happens. And, you know, but here I am on my regularly scheduled night, which is great because tomorrow night I will be speaking in Fredericksburg, Texas. Yes, indeed. It has been a hot minute since I have been to an event or spoken at an event in Fredericksburg, and I'm very much looking forward to it. I was over the moon when the invitation came in, and I think we're going to have a good time. Look, that's right smack dab in State Representative Kyle Biederman's district. So who knows? Maybe I'll go by the, his Ace Hardware store and, I don't know, buy some nails or something. I don't know. What do people buy at hardware stores? I mean, I know because I go buy things, but I don't know. I don't know that I need anything right now. Right. So anyway, look, let's get down to it before I talk about what I'm doing, what's happening the rest of the week. Let's take care of a little bit of housekeeping. First and foremost, if you are watching us on YouTube, we're streaming across, yet again, another 10 different locations, or 11. I forget the count. 11. Sorry, it's 11. So if you're joining us on either of the YouTube locations, if you're watching us on the YouTube channel, the TNM's YouTube channel, Super Chat is live. Be sure you like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you get notified every time we go live. And of course, every time we post a brand new video, you'll get a notification. And, there's tons of videos. I mean, we've got lots and lots in store. My understanding is that right now, video team is working overtime on a lot of course videos, right? So, you guys may or may not know, but for registered supporters, we have soft launched the TNM Academy, and they're working on course videos for that. So all kinds of lessons. But look, there'll be time for a big announcement when we have the big launch. But there's some courses over there right now. So those of you that are in the know and know where to go on the website, go over there, register your support, log in, and head onto the Action Center, and I bet you will find it. But also, as I said, Super Chat is active. We welcome any contributions that you can give via Super Chat. And, I have a tendency to interact with a lot of the Super Chatters. So I'm going to do my dead level best not to let chat get too far ahead of me tonight, because, a healthy part of what we do here is Q&A. So I will be watching. That being said, moving on, if you are watching this on any of the Facebook channels, Facebook page, Facebook groups, wherever it is, be sure to like, comment, and share where applicable. If it is in a group, you may not be able to share. I don't have time for a Facebook tutorial tonight, but just sometimes that's the way the world works, right? So if you're watching on the Facebook pages, be sure to like, comment, and share. And let's spread the word about TEXIT. And, of course, Twitter people, do your Twitter things. You know what to do. And, we still don't have that doggone Instagram thing worked out. I am, I'm probably just going to have to pick up old Sparky here and just do a straight up Instagram live just for the Instagram folks, because I keep getting asked about it. So that being said, before I head off into the chat and start taking your questions and fulfill my role as the Archbishop of Banterbury, let me get this off my chest really quickly. As I said, we've got a lot coming up. We have got Fredericksburg tomorrow night. So tomorrow night, I will be in Fredericksburg with the rest of the executive team, and we will be bringing the message of TEXIT over there to the lovely, lovely area of the Hill Country, right there in Biederman's backyard. And I think we're going to have a phenomenal time. And, of course, as always, with every single event, there will be petition circulators on hand. Then on Saturday, we are going to be participating in a border awareness rally down in Portland, close to Corpus Christi, where we'll be participating in this event. We're going to be there with other speakers, including George Rodriguez, Brent Smith, several others. I don't have the list. Full list is actually on our website on the event. But we'll be there participating, and we will be bringing awareness to some of the border issues all the way to Portland, right outside of Corpus Christi. And so if you're anywhere in that area, we would love to have you come out there. And again, we will have petition circulators there collecting signatures for the TEXIT petition. Then, of course, next week, I will be in Lindale on Thursday. So a week from tomorrow night, I'll be speaking in Lindale, the town right outside of Tyler. I do believe the home of Miranda Lambert. I think that's her hometown. But I'll be speaking there. The event is on the calendar, and that's going to be a phenomenal event because, that's my home turf. That's where I'm originally from. So, getting not Lindale specifically, but up in that area. And I'm very much looking forward to getting up there and visiting with everyone. So it's going to be packed. If you haven't looked at the calendar, I believe even Daphne has a speaking event coming up. And look, that's not to mention all of the other events, right? If you look at the calendar, if you go to tnm.me/events right now and look at the calendar, one of the things you're going to notice is an abundance of ways and places that you can connect with the TNM, whether it's meetups or petition signing events. And folks, that's just the tip of the iceberg. We're getting ready to announce that we are launching a very large number of local groups, and we're putting the final batch of the big glut of local coordinators through their final training and onboarding. But expect a major announcement here probably, I'm guessing within a week. It'd be my guess. It just depends on how quickly they all get through the training. But they're serious, and we're getting ready to launch a ton of local groups. And I will tell you, when we release the number, it's going to knock some people back on their heels. They're going to freak out. But that is just the tip of the iceberg, right? We are moving as fast as we possibly can to organize on the ground, and not just for the petition campaign, but for the Take Texas Back campaign, for those people that are ready to run for office under the TNM banner. And it's going to be just a phenomenal look. The next 2 months, almost 3 months. Well, this is the ramp up, right? I mean, because we know that when that petition deadline hits, it's a dead run, right? So it's about building this momentum right now. So I'm making the pitch again. If you have not signed up to become a petition circulator, you got to get on it, right? You got to get over there. You got to go to tnm.me/petition, and you got to sign up. You got to help us. I had an interesting, and I put the link right there on the screen. Look, I had an interesting interaction today with someone on, actually a couple of people on the TNM's Facebook page. Not that I had a lot of time recently to interact on social media, but I did have a pretty interesting interaction. And one of the folks on there was kind of twisted at the TNM because this was not an online petition, right? Like, it's our fault. And they wanted an online petition. And so my response was, hey, if you don't like it, take it up with the Texas Election Code, which spurred on some additional conversation where it became abundantly clear that this person did not understand the very fundamental thing we are doing with this petition. And so it got me to thinking there may be some other people out there who don't get this. And I want to make this abundantly clear, right? So hang on, let me do this because I know our social media guy is going to chop this part of it out. So let me do this Hollywood style, right? Petition explanation, take one. All right. So here's what you need to understand about this petition. This is not an online petition, right? If you want some touchy-feely, feel-good thing that you can slacktivate your way into feeling like you've done something for Texas independence, then we could launch an online petition, right? Go over there, start one on whitehouse.gov, right? That's not what this is. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt, right? This petition, and let me be very clear with everyone, this petition is a legal petition under the Texas Election Code 172.088. And what it allows us to do is, if we collect the requisite number of signatures, which is around 80,000 physical signatures, then it will force the TEXIT question on the ballot, on the primary ballot in 2022. That's what it does. Okay. So just like it was, you were an independent candidate and you wanted to run for governor, right? Or some statewide office. They wouldn't let you set up some dippy change.org petition. You would actually have to get pieces of paper and human beings to go talk to other human beings who are registered voters and get their physical signature. That's the law. Okay. So what it boils down to is quite simple. If you want a vote on Texas independence in the primaries in 2022, you will help us collect signatures, or you will move heaven and earth to get to wherever you need to go to sign that petition. And look, I sympathized with the gentleman's frustrations, right? We live in the digital age. It is the 21st century. Why we are having to do this in a way that feels like the 1950s is pretty ridiculous, right? But that's just the way that it is. And if we want what we want, right, if we want to actually achieve what we want to achieve, we got to do the things necessary to get there. And as I told them, after 25 years of this, if the requirement was for me to crawl through a half mile of nails outside of Austin and eat a bowl of cat crap, I would say, give me a map and a spoon, right? I mean, we're going to do what it takes to get this done, right? And so if it requires going somewhere, right, that doesn't happen to be at my door, might be a mile down the road, 5 miles, it might be 100 miles down the road, I don't know. Or go to a website and find a map, find somebody close to me on that map and call them, right? Or go to an event and take up a pen and fill out some information and put my signature. That's what I'm going to do, because that's what I did. I'm a petition circulator. My wife is a petition circulator. I signed one of our petition circulators' petition at the Rally Against Censorship, right? So just to sum up, this is not an online petition. If you did not physically sign a piece of paper from one of our petition circulators, you did not sign the petition. If you filled out an online form, you did not sign the petition. If you say that you signed it any time before June, you did not sign the petition. Okay? This is a legal petition and the clock is ticking, right? So, time to dispel any misinformation out there. If you have any question whatsoever, you go to that little address. Oh, hang on, I'm backwards. You go to that address right here. Right here. Yeah, look at that. I got my pen. You go to this address and you find out everything you need to know. And if you have any questions, there is a video on there of me saying exactly what I just said, right? Literally a video on that link that says what I just said. But more importantly, if you can't figure it out, like if something is wonky with the website, or you want to collect signatures, or you want to reach out and you don't know how to do it, hey, that's cool. Call us, right? We have a toll-free number, 800-662-1836. It is all over the website. We have a contact link at the top of the website, right? Right on the menu. Contact. Let us know. We will help you. We will do whatever we can to make sure that we get your signature on this petition. But that also means that we need you to do everything you can to get your signature on this petition. I mean, look, guys, we come one signature short. It was all worthless, right? If we come one signature short, and it's you that thought, well, I'll get to it later. Somebody else will sign, whatever. Think about how that would feel if we came one signature short and you couldn't carve out the time to get it done, right? To either collect your own signature, which is what I've told people to do. Look, if there's no petition circulators near you, sign up to be a CPC, sign your own petition, right? Pick up 3 or 4 or 5 other signatures or more, go down, get it notarized, send it in. That's literally all you got to do. That's literally it. watch some little videos online, do it the right way, send it in. Boom, you're done, right? Now we want you to go further, right? We have too few petition circulators. Too few people stepped up to say, you know what, I will do something as simple as ask someone for their signature. And look, folks, we need all the help we can get. Daniel Miller cannot go get 80,000 signatures on his own. You know, Daniel Miller, Nate Smith, Daphne Armour, Kara Miller, the national leadership team cannot go get 80,000 signatures on their own. We need an army of volunteers to do it. And given everything that I have heard from Texans starting in about September, October of last year, then I'm at a loss why anyone would have any problems doing this, right? Look, if you're infirm, I get that. I understand that. But I have a hard time understanding anyone who is able-bodied and capable not signing up to help us collect petition signatures, or at a very minimum, making a little bit of effort, maybe having to drive a few minutes to go put their signature on a piece of paper. It baffles me. So I don't like to be puzzled. Don't puzzle me. Don't confuse me. Let's just be the Texans that I believe that we can be. The ones that love independence so much that will do whatever it takes to get it done. Whatever it takes to get it done. Let's be those people. Because I'm going to tell you, there are people in our history, the spirits of Travis and Crockett and Bowie and Seguin and all those people looking at us. They're looking at us. And they want to know if we're going to honor their legacy. And we're not asking people to take up your rifles and go on a march with no provisions or anything else. We're literally asking you to pick up this and a clipboard and ask people the question, hey, are you a registered Texas voter? Great. Well, if we could vote on Texas becoming an independent nation, you'd be interested in that, wouldn't you? Well, yes. Well, great. Well, we are currently collecting petition signatures for an effort to put this on the ballot in the primary election in 2022. Could we get your signature on this petition? Great. Fantastic. Let me go ahead and read this statement to you before we start filling it out and signing. Read the statement. Get the signature. Check it out. Hey, this information looks great. Hey, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Hey, next guy, are you a registered Texas voter? And it goes on, just like that. It's kind of that easy. So let's honor the legacy. Let's be the people that we know that we can be, and let's get this done. Let's don't rely on everybody else. You know, well, so and so over there, they'll get a whole bunch of they'll go get a whole bunch of signatures, and I don't have to do so much. Do everything you can. We got an opportunity. Let's take it. tnm.me/petition. I wasn't expecting to go on a petition rant, but you know, it is coffee talk, and I say this is my evening opportunity to decompress. That sounded a little bit like decompression to me, right? All right. So one more thing before I go to the chat. I actually just launched my new site, right? If you guys had been if you've seen the website listed on the back of the TEXIT book, DanielOMiller.com, there was a placeholder there. But, you know, some big things are getting ready to pop off. So it was time for a little bit of a facelift. So be sure you get an opportunity. When you get an opportunity, go over there and check it out. DanielOMiller.com. Yes, O is my middle initial. And, you know, it'll be interesting if any of you can guess what that middle initial stands for. Yeah, you're going to be way off. I know it. But yeah, check it out. And then here's the thing I'm going to encourage you to do. On that website, you're going to see a connect to our movement email subscription list. That is not the TNM email list. That is my email list. There is a big announcement coming. We're working on scheduling and location, and I know I'm not telling you what it is, but we've got a major announcement coming. And if you want first dibs, because it's going to be invitation only, if you want an invitation to that event, be sure to submit your email address over there, and we'll make sure that you are on the invite list. All righty then. Let's get to the chat and the Q&A. How does that sound? Wow. Okay. You know, I said I wasn't going to let this thing get ahead of me, but I obviously have let this thing get ahead of me. I love it when people jump in and they're like, first. But see, what you don't realize is you may only be first in one of the channels. All of the chat from all of the places where this is streaming aggregates to one spot. So it's like everything, which is why it's hard to keep up, right? Okay, so let me scroll down here, see what kind of questions you guys have. And look, again, my caveat, if I miss your question, it's not personal. As I said, there's a lot here, and I'm trying to keep up, and I'm going to go through it. And I'm looking for uniqueness. It doesn't have to necessarily be unique, but, you know, just something that I haven't answered about 1,000 times before is always nice. And hello, good evening to you, every one of you that are saying good evening to me. Victor says hello from California, or as we like to refer to it, behind enemy lines. Okay. Scrolling down here, man, this is fantastic. Okay, our district director in District 24, Dean Ross, says that he will be in Fredericksburg helping us collect petition signatures tomorrow night at the event. So, okay. Hey, Dan the man, a TEXIT supporter from New Jersey, checking in. Thank you so much. Don says, is Oklahoma joining if this happens? That is entirely up to Oklahoma, right? I like to make the joke a lot of times that Oklahoma is the largest county in Texas. Oklahomans don't like that joke too much, but ultimately it's going to be up to every single state individually whether they want to leave or stay. That's how it's decided, right? There's no block where we all just, okay, 13 of us have voted that all 30, that's not how it works, right? I mean, this is a different process. And even if you follow the process of the Declaration of Independence for the 13 colonies, there was a unanimous declaration, but they all had to make the decision individually. Okay. Okay. The doc says, are we going to rip on the USA for funding terrorist groups with our tax money? Yeah, I've been doing that for a very long time. The federal government loves to use our tax money to fund terrorist organizations. Regime change. That's a lot of times what that is. Okay. Rhonda says, we have support from historian and journalist Ryan Dawson. He has a large following. Rhonda, that's great. If you know Ryan, put him in touch. Would love to visit. And by the way, I don't know if you guys know this, I was interviewed for the Tom Woods show, right? Tom Woods podcast, and it dropped this evening. So head over to tomwoods.com and you can listen to the podcast. And it was fun, right? It was great. Happened to miss him like when Nate and I were at Pork Fest in New Hampshire on that international, the North American Independence panel. I think we missed him by an hour or two, and we didn't get a chance to meet there, but I am very thankful to Tom for having me on as a guest, and it was lively. And I got the Social Security question. I got the Social Security question. Okay, scrolling right along for your questions. Yeah, be sure to put your questions in the comments or the chat, and I'll see them. And Tex, thank you for the super chat. I do appreciate it. He says, any news on mainstream celebrity sports such as Chuck Norris or Ted Nugent, etc.? I guess celebrity status is subjective, right? So, just like what Rhonda talked about with Ryan a moment ago, or support out of Tom Woods, that may be one sort of celebrity to some people, but maybe not to other people. So I think you'd have to be a little more specific. But I will tell you guys, I had a conversation with Chad Prather yesterday. He and I were able to finally connect. And I can tell you right now that out of the three kind of major public declared candidates against Greg Abbott, Chad made the absolute strongest statements in favor of Texas becoming an independent nation. Not just, hey, I think we should have a vote, but hey, this is not an option, this is the option. So I got to tell you, it was a phenomenal conversation, and was very appreciative to him for making the phone call. Had a great conversation, and I think we're going to be talking a lot more about me potentially being on his show, having him on here, doing him coming to speak at some of our events, and vice versa. And of course, we're going to throw that invitation out to the other two as well. But I got to tell you, if Chad's statements are as strong at these events moving forward as they were to me on the phone, Alan and Don are going to have to step up their game. Okay, moving right along. Viva says, I'm in Lindale helping organize the event at Brisket Love. Look, you cannot go wrong having a T&M event at a barbecue place, right? I mean, it's like, look, guys, okay, here's my message to local coordinators. All of you guys that are local coordinators that are looking for local groups to set up, find a barbecue joint with a meeting room. You will never be disappointed. Never. The attendees will love you. Okay. Jay says, Washington no longer has our best interest in mind. The time for a Republic of Texas is now. You are preaching to the choir, Jace. Absolutely true. They have not had our best interest in mind for a long time, right? Saying that they no longer have our interest in mind. Well, it's been a long time since they've had our interest in mind. Look, I'll tell you guys this, and I may have said this last week. My first trip was my first invited trip to the border, right? Specifically invited to see the issues that residents in the border communities were experiencing was in 2000 or 2001. Either way, and it was horrendous then. The things that people were having to endure. Now, here we are 20 to 21 years later, and we're still talking about the same thing. So Washington I don't believe Washington's ever had our best interest in mind. I read a quote that was posted by Chris Conrad from Republic Boot Company, right? He is a huge fan of Mirabeau Lamar, second president of the Republic of Texas, and he posted a quote about that Lamar wrote in relation to to Texas annexation. And it was like Lamar was a prophet, right? And you know what I need to do is I need to get that posted. I wish I could flash it on the screen here, but I need to get that posted somewhere. I'll repost Chris's image about it. But it was prophetic what Lamar said the treatment of Texas would be by the United States. Prophetic. Okay. Let's see here. Let's find one. I may have just skipped some. It did a big scroll, people. Keith says, do you have any petitions being circulated in El Paso or Hudspeth counties? In fact, we do. As a matter of fact, I tell you what I'm going to do. Yet again, for social media chopping purposes, John, I hope you're watching because you're going to need to see this. I am actually going to show you guys on the website where you need to go find this information. Y'all would appreciate that, I'm guessing. Okay. Here we go. So on the TNM website, if you look, this is tnm.me/petition. Right there. There you see it. And I can make this thing full screen at some point if you want. But essentially, here's the countdown. You are 2 months, 22 days, 12 hours, and 59 minutes away from drop dead. What that means is you got to get busy. But here's what you gotta know, right? Page contents. Here's the information about the petition. But specifically, if you want to sign the petition, you will see the section here about signing the petition. You guys can't see my mouse, can you? I'm just literally just circling around. Oh, yeah, you can see it. All right. So sign the petition. Unlike every other previous petition on the issue of TEXIT, there's a valid and legal petition that can place the question on the ballot. Okay, so find out where you can connect with one of our certified petition circulators to sign the petition. So there are 2 ways. Initially, we were only going to have petition signing events, but we added almost immediately, as soon as we recruited enough CPCs, which is shorthand for certified petition circulators. Thank you. Is we added a directory, right? So if you want to find a CPC or find a signing event, here are your 2 choices. Now, if you want to find a CPC, here's your map. And all you got to do is zoom in to your locale. So I've got a few people that are mismapped, but we process those in the evenings, right? But here you go. Here are some petition circulators. So El Paso, here you go. Here's your petition circulator right here. Michael Holmes. All the petition circulators opt in to be listed on this directory and provide us with a phone number and email address for you to contact. So if you don't have anyone near you, right? So you find your place on the map and you can scroll around. So there you go. Look at all these petition circulators that have opted in. Now, if there is not a petition circulator near you, you click that button, and what it's going to do is it's going to take you to a page where you can become a certified petition circulator. And all you have to do, first off, you have to be a registered supporter, right? Because we have to track that you have been trained. But you have to be a registered supporter, which is no big deal, right? There's places all over the website to do that. But once you're logged into the site, you can do this right here. You register, all your information will be there. And bada boom, bada bing, you are a CPC. So that's all there is to it. So that's how you find it. You can find it via the map, or you can go to one of the petition signing events. Now, the question may be, well, what are the petition signing events? Well, let me just show you that one too. If you go to the events tab on the website, right here on the menu, there you go. Go to the events, and remember, every in-person event is a petition signing event. Every single one. So even if you go to the Alamo Memorial March on the 11th, right, there will be petition circulators there. When you go to the event in Portland, petition circulators there. The meetup in Houston, petition circulators. Daphne's speaking in Richmond. She's a petition circulator. So literally every event is a petition signing event. So you can go find it wherever. All right. Hey, and by the way, to our social media guy, John, good luck chopping that up. Best of luck to you. Oh, man. Hang on. Let's figure this one out here, folks. Okay, here we go. Now we're back. Sorry about that. You know, I say I take a break in work, but from work to do this, but I'm honestly still working. The dings you're hearing in the background that you may or may not be hearing, that's our internal messaging system because the work never stops. Okay, let's go down through here. Okay, Patrick says, as a proud Texan coastal dweller, I would love to know what areas you love about our great state. I love all of them. I've never been to a place in Texas that I don't like. I can find something wonderful about every single place in Texas. I've honestly not found a spot that I didn't care for. You know, I could find something to like. Now, you know, people are going to say, well, you know, you got rose-colored glasses on or you're an optimist, but I just love Texas. So, but he says, do you think Abbott will last past 2022? I'm not a prognosticator. I can tell you this, right? I am not willing to predict that Abbott will be gone in 2022, but I am willing at this point to predict that he is in major trouble. And I don't care what bills he's signing now. He is in more trouble now than he has been in any race that he's ever been in. And I mean, you got to understand, Abbott has always been a hardcore political player, and he's always been really, really good at it, no matter what he's run for. He has got a brain trust. I mean, he's just to tell you, so you guys understand what you're dealing with on the Abbott team. If you are familiar with the history of the TNM, you'll know that Steve Munisteri, who used to be the chairman of the Republican Party of Texas, who we had a major running battle with. Matter of fact, I think in the archives somewhere, there's a radio interview that I did that was a roundtable. I was literally the only pro-Texit person on the panel. And they brought in a bunch of other people who were dumping. And one of those people was Steve Munisteri when he was chairman of the Republican Party of Texas. And he literally lied to everyone on that interview about what the Texas Constitution said. Now, you call it a lie, you call it a misstatement. Either way, he was either malicious or he was ignorant. But neither one of those are excuses. So we had a running battle because we called on Munisteri to issue a public correction, and he wouldn't do it because, you know, he's just too cool for that sort of thing. But Munisteri went on to be a political player, right? He left the RPT, went on. Well, look, he's sitting at the right hand of the throne with he is Greg Abbott's major domo right now. And last time I heard, it's Night of the Long Knives over there in the governor's office in the governor's campaign because they're in trouble. But one of the governor's other political advisors, none other than Karl Rove. Look at any TV interview that Rove is doing right now. He's got the Austin backdrop. He's in there shucking and jiving for Greg Abbott, and he's working for him. You know, he's kind of guiding, and you'll start seeing Rove's hand moving in this whole governor's race. So just be aware that that's about to go down. Okay. But that being said, no matter the guns that Abbott's bringing out, he is in more trouble now than he has ever been. Let's be honest about some things, right? And I know there may be some people out there that are Abbott fans, and frankly, I don't care if this makes you mad. I've covered that in a previous broadcast. I am no fan of Greg Abbott. I have explained innumerable times why. And I have explained why you cannot be a supporter of TEXIT and be a fan of Greg Abbott. You can't, okay? But that being said, where Greg Abbott is concerned, he is in more trouble than he's ever been. And I was going to go back and finish that other thought, but I think I just better let it lie right now. Well, you know what? I'll just go ahead and say it. Had it not been for the fact that he had credible challengers in the primary already announced, there would have been none of these kind of big base energizing bills would have seen the light of day. It wouldn't have happened, because no matter what anybody says, Phelan and Patrick are effectively run out of Greg Abbott's office. And they understand why. Greg Abbott has the war chest, and Greg Abbott has the campaign organization. So one of the big rubs that one of the biggest problems that the Republican Party of Texas has is they have got this candidate that has grown a war chest of massive size and has effectively created his own political organization and doesn't need the party. So you want to know why he and Allen West were at odds when Allen was head of the party? That's part of the reason. That's part of the rationale, because Abbott has always wanted, since he's been governor with this massive war chest, he's always wanted to have people in the RPT that he can, schmooze and effectively buy off with photo ops and things of that nature. And whether that's in the chairmanship or the SREC, that's just the way that it is. And, and there are thankfully people over there in that executive committee in the Republican Party that will not be bought. They will not have the wool pulled over their eyes by the governor's bright and shiny objects. And, it's Governor Abbott. He invited us to the governor's mansion for Christmas pictures. So what? Who cares? If he's not getting the job done, right? If you send him, if he's the governor and he's carrying under the banner of your party, and he's not doing everything in his power to advance those priorities, then what good is he, right? You take 1,000 photos, and it will not replace the fact that the guy has been virtually inert on the border issues since he's been governor. I mean, he increased DPS patrols. Well, you know what? That's not full militarization of the Texas State Guard and a National Guard call up to go repel the invasion on the border. It's not. No, it's not that. I love the fact, I'm sure the DPS guys are probably run ragged, right? But he has had the power all along to make things happen, to advance the sovereignty of Texas and to protect our borders, and he has failed to do so. And there's no excuse. So, do I think Abbott will survive 2022? I can't tell you. I can't tell you whether he's going to, but I'm telling you that if ever there was an opportunity to pluck him out of there and replace him with someone that is pro-Texas, that is at least moderately pro-TEXIT, that will actually stand up to the federal government and push back on the encroachments of sovereignty and move us closer to independence. If ever that opportunity existed, it is in this cycle, period. But it's not enough just to knock that piece out. You got to go from top all the way to the bottom. That's why we're running slates of candidates. That's why people are asking me to run for lieutenant governor, because they understand that you can't take one piece off the board and claim victory in the chess match. All right. Moving right along. Okay. Hey, Lee says, already made the small effort to get out and sign the petition. Felt great signing my name. Lee, thank you for getting out and signing the petition. Thank you so much. Okay, rolling around. Oh, hang on. Oh, my gosh. So, you know what? I'm swinging the band hammer. How exciting is that? I get my first band hammer swing of the evening. How exciting for me. See ya. Lisa says, how can we get the signatures of every TNM member to sign the petition? I literally explained it. We could go to their houses individually, right? But think about how many CPCs that's going to take. So We got to run an all the above strategy, which is reaching out, getting signatures from as many people as we can, and then creating opportunities for people to go to those events and sign. We're working it both ways. It's all you can do, right? We can communicate with these people. We send them emails. We do all those things. But look, I digress. I covered that like on the CPC Accelerator. I guess it was 2 weeks ago. By the way, if you're a petition circulator and you're not attending the CPC Accelerator webinar on Thursday nights, shame on you, because there's a ton of great information over there. Okay. But yeah, go back, see, it's in the CPC bulletins. Go back and look at what I said, because it's there. Okay. Trolls, man. Okay, here we go. Mike, this is a good one. This gives me an opportunity to address a myth. Says, correct me if I'm wrong, but if we leave, don't we have to separate into 5 different states? No, we do not. That is something that people say a lot, and because they heard it from someone who heard it from someone who heard it from someone who heard it from someone, and it's the telephone game, okay? The 5 different states issue is completely different than Texas leaving the Union. 2 completely different issues. Okay, so divorce those 2 in your mind, and the next time somebody brings it up, communicate the same. 2 completely separate issues, have nothing to do with one another. Okay, leaving, all you got to remember, Article 1, Section 10 of the U.S. Constitution, 10th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, Article 1, Section 1 and 2 of the Texas Constitution. That is the only framework that matters, okay, for leaving. The 5 separate states issue comes up because when Texas was annexed into the Union, right, when the people of Texas voted, right before that happened, there was a treaty of annexation submitted and ratified by the Texas Senate. It went to the United States Senate, and it was voted down. So what the U.S. Congress did was they annexed Texas by joint resolution of Congress. So when people say Texas was annexed by treaty, you can also tell them that that's a bunch of hogwash, because the treaty was never ratified by the United States Congress. Instead, the U.S. Congress ratified Texas by joint resolution of Congress. Now, there's some definite question marks, and I actually covered this on one of these coffee talks a few weeks back, but there was a provision in there that allowed Texas to divide into no more than 5 states, right? So 4 additional states. So there would be Texas, and then it's 4 spinoffs. And it says, the language says that those 4 would be guaranteed admittance in the United States. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, the way the wording is quite interesting, because it doesn't say that they are automatically admitted into the United States. It says that they are guaranteed admittance. Now, why that language and why that way? Well, you have to remember that there were a lot of people in the United States that did not want Texas annexed into the Union. One of them was Abraham Lincoln. He made a very massive speech on the floor of Congress against the annexation of Texas. So there was concern that if Texas, with all of this big landmass, decided that for purposes of proper management, right, as Texas began to fill up with people, that it needed to divide into other states, there was some concern that if Texas spun off, say, West Texas, that West Texas would not be guaranteed entry, would not be allowed into the Union. So literally, they could have spun off West Texas, and then without this provision, the federal government could have said, no, you can't come in. Now, that has some really interesting implications, because what that means is that at any time, Texas could have spun off a piece of itself and just not applied for admittance, right? And the fact that they had to include that clause was proof that there was a recognition that a state or even a portion of a state could exit the union and be outside of it, not part of the construct. So, I mean, that whole provision lends itself to some real interesting things, like Texas going, okay, well, fine, here's what we're going to do. From here on out, the state of Texas is now, 1 foot square, right up there in Texarkana between Texas and Arkansas. And then we're going to spin off exactly one other state, and it's going to be called the Republic of Texas, and we are not applying for admission into the union. And it would be completely within the bounds of that agreement. I mean, you could do crazy things like that, right? But it's always interesting to me how these myths promulgate. People sort of half hear things, and then they sort of mix them together. I like this. I saw a guy today talk about on Twitter of all places. He somehow I had gotten tagged or mentioned in a tweet, and this guy commented, and he said Texas can only leave with the consent of the states surrounding it. It's like, where did that come from? Where? I can't process it. Okay. Robert says, keep fighting the good fight, rooting for you from here in New England. Robert, I was in your neck of the woods not too long ago, and have got some good friends up there. And I know there are some states in New England that want their independence just like we do. So great. Best of luck to you guys. We're going to keep working this international engagement where we're connecting up with these guys, and we definitely want to do it. Okay. Tech says, when is the next petition signing in DFW? You got to go look at the events calendar. They are all over the place. I'm looking at a meetup in Alvarado right now. I know that's up close to the DFW area. Here's a meetup in Granbury. And this is all happening within the next week. So go look at the events calendar, tnm.me/events. Okay. Okay, here we go. Keith says, Daniel O. Miller sounds Irish to me. I know, right? But you'll never guess what the O stands for. Some of you know. If some of you already know, do not spoil it. I'm loving reading the guesses. AJ says, I know it isn't realistic at the moment, but wouldn't it be cool for Texas to regain its historical borders? Here's the thing, and I answer this. It's sort of an infrequent question, but we have to remember. Look, we sold that, right? As a matter of fact, the Texas versus White case, the money at the heart of the Supreme Court case of Texas versus White was bonds that were directly tied to that territory that we sold to the United States federal government. So that territory was sold. And my understanding is we were paid in full. And if we weren't, man, oh man, they owe us a lot of money with interest. Okay. Hey, Paul. Yeah, thank you. Paul, our district director over there in 22, reminded me, and thank you for that. September the 25th in Lake Whitney is the TNM Family Fun Day. The folks out there at the place in Lake Whitney are hosting an event. The folks all there in D22 are getting together, and they're inviting everyone, like all over the state. Come down. It's a family fun day. It's going to be speakers, it's going to be music, there's going to be food. If you go to the events on the website, you can go there and RSVP. There's more information. But the TNM Family Fun Day at Lake Whitney, do not miss it. I'm going to be there. I'm there. It's fun. It's TNM. I'm there. We're going to have a ball. Okay. Clark says, is this event an in-person event or a virtual one? I'm guessing you're talking about the thing that I mentioned about signing up on my website. It is in person. It will be live streamed, but it will be in person, and guaranteed you're going to want to be there in person. Okay. Nice. Lots of folks on here. Petition signing in West Arlington. There you go. Petition signing in West Arlington this Saturday at the Lake Arlington Branch Library. Did I miss that? Yeah, here's one in Hurst, Houston, Kerrville. This Saturday. Interesting. Well, we'll have to dig into that because I don't see an Arlington petition signing on the calendar. So let me make a little note of that, and we will find out why that is. All right, note made with my petition signing pen. Okay, rolling. Yeah, looking for your questions, folks. How am I doing on time? Oh, crap, I got like 3 minutes. Sorry, guys. This went a little bit long. Oh, man, and I am way behind. All right, Super Chat. Viva, thank you for your Super Chat. His quote, better to fight for something than live for nothing. Amen. It's like every week you Super Chat and then give a good quote, and I love it. Bonnie says the Tom Woods podcast was great discussion. Totally crushed it. Thank you, Bonnie. It was very cash. I enjoy conversation. If you haven't noticed. Okay, guys. I am scrolling here. I am missing it. Hey, sounds like I see something 11-2 Smitty's Barbecue in Crockett. I do not know what that is. If that's another petition signing, that'll be great. Okay. Scrolling down through here. Guys, I may have to go a little bit over because you guys have got like a ton of messages on here. And for some reason, my chat is acting up. Robert says we can pass the election integrity bill. We could surely pass a statewide forensic audit. I do not disagree. Daniel says today on Facebook, Prather ripped the Band-Aid off and said we need to do this. Yeah, I'm telling you, it was a great conversation that I had with him yesterday. Yeah, and I'm going to tell you, we're gonna do the thing. I'm gonna be on his show. We got to work out the scheduling because I've got to go up there to the studio. Hey, Lisa, thank you for your super chat. I do appreciate that. Scrolling down, Cynthia, thank you so much. Enjoying your chat too, and you're using my middle initial. Now I feel like I'm in trouble. Like you're calling me Daniel O. Miller. That feels like I'm in trouble. That's almost like when your mother would use all three of your names. That's what it feels like. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, Rodolfo's talking about U.S. and Hawaii. You know, we actually communicated for a long time. At least tried to open lines of communication with the independence movements in Hawaii. And part of the problem that we found is that the Hawaiian independence movements are very fragmented, right? There were a lot of different groups, and none of them had gained like a serious sort of critical mass for political advocacy. And one of the reasons was that from what we could tell, the fragmentation among the Hawaiian independence groups was all because they could not agree on the future, right? There was because the case is to be made that the Hawaiian people had their government overthrown. There were people that wanted to restore the Hawaiian monarchy, right? And there are people who said, no, that's then. We're now, let's have a constitutional republic, and they would be at loggerheads, even though they agreed on 80 to 90% of everything else. That 10 to 20% kept them from working together, and it really fragmented them. So I don't know where they stand now. That's a question for international engagement. Someone says, how about a regular 3-minute video regularly uploaded to BitChute? Get your name and great speaking skills continually before the people of the world. 3 minutes is tough for yours truly, but I'll make a note of it. Any of you that are listening that are making notes on such things, shoot it to me in our internal messenger, and we'll take a look at doing that because I think that's a great idea. Okay. Keith, you're welcome. Let's see. Oh man, here we go. Everybody, these people with their Civil War business. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I waxed eloquently. Texas is from Mexico country, thief from, oh dude, yeah. Not going to tolerate anybody who comes in here and says that the U.S. stole Texas from Mexico is an idiot. So guess what, buddy? Bandhammer. Bayah. Love it. Okay. Yeah, I just did. Okay, guys, I am running out of time, and there are an awful lot. Man, you guys have been super busy tonight. Hey, and thank you to all of you that have been sharing this and joining me week in, week out. It's a great decompress. And of course, to those of you watching this on the replay, I know some folks are not hip on the 9:30 to 10:30, but guys, this is kind of when I have to take a step back because I work from the time I roll out of the rack to about the time it's time to, not that I don't drink this all day, but here on Wednesday, it's kind of my usual, right? So I'm working, with the exception of the 15, 20 minutes we get to eat dinner, because that's literally the only minute. I know it doesn't look like it, but literally dinner is it for me. And, and then it's this, typically between 9:30 and 10:30, I take a little bit of a step back, kind of decompress, kind of make sure that I'm doing what I need to be doing. And then I launch into the night shift, as I call it. And that could be anything. That could be responding to emails. It could be writing articles. It could be shooting videos. Like one night, I was up till 5 o'clock in the morning shooting training videos, literally looking in this camera, shooting training videos, or doing web development work. Or something to remember, I don't get paid by the TNM. I don't get paid. So I do have a job that I have to work. I work in IT. I work as a chief technical officer for an online e-learning company, a startup. So for those of you who say that, oh, you're getting rich off of this, well, I hadn't made a dime, but I sure have poured an awful lot of money into this, an awful lot. So, you want to compare contribution records. I will meet you on that battlefield every day. Okay, rolling down through the list, guys. I am so over time, but you know what? I can roll it. Yeah, I could do this. I am rolling through this. All right. Okay, so I am. I think Clark finally. I don't know if Clark finally got his answer about the announcement. I'm so far behind in the chat. I can't tell you if you got your announcement. The announcement that I mentioned earlier will be an in-person announcement, but it will also be live streamed. But you will want to be there in person, so go sign up. Elliot says, "Can you get me on the Tom Woods show?" Elliot, I didn't even get myself on the Tom Woods show. I'll be honest with you. I don't even know how it happened. I literally got a Twitter DM from Tom. And this has been sort of years in the making. So I don't even know how I got on. But I can put in a good word. All righty. Cynthia says, could you repeat the URL for the Daniel O. Miller site? Yes, you're going to love it. It's danielomiller.com. There we go. Craig says, petition signing at Smitty's Barbecue in Crockett from 11 to 2 tomorrow. So that would be the 9th. And, I don't see that one on the calendar either. So, Craig, please reach out to the office. I'd be interested in finding out more about that petition signing. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. Elliot says, wish Dan was fast like us Yanks. I don't even know what that means. I'm not being slow. I mean, there. Why don't you come over here and help me moderate this chat, Mr. Axelman? Okay. Okay. Here we go. All right, here we go. Hey, thank you for the super chat. Rakita Law on YouTube might be willing to interview if you get in contact. Look, your your username on YouTube is killing me. I hate Yankees. We shouldn't hate people, right? We should love what we love and then not hate. But I get maybe where you're coming from. But the message you sent in the super chat, if you could send that over to us via email, that way we can kind of get it in the system and work it and track it and make sure it doesn't fall through the cracks. That would be fantastic. And you're welcome for the stream. Thank you for being here. Oh yeah. Yeah. Elliot is just messing. Well, I don't know. You guys are all messing with me. Yes, I did swing the band hammer. I may get like a literal band hammer, like a big old Thor's hammer. And okay, guys. Well, look, here we are. I mean, there is a ton. There's a ton going on here. Yeah. Okay. So it's time to wrap up because I am absolutely overtime, out of time. And it's not like the work has stopped coming. So just a reminder, I will be in Fredericksburg tomorrow night. Would love to see you out there if you can make it. All the information is on tnm.me/events, over in Portland, down around Corpus on Saturday. Tons of events going on, whether it's meetups, whether it's petition signing events. The Alamo Memorial March is the second Saturday of every month, and it is actually this coming Saturday, so you don't want to miss that. And just lots going on. And look, I have to tell you, for those of you that are going above and beyond, going that extra mile, I can't express to you how much I really, really, really appreciate what you were doing. It's not over. We've got a lot of work to do. And there are people out there that are maybe kind of in this headspace, maybe in their heart they're with us and their head they're with us, but they're just not. And what they need is encouragement. And I hope that every week during this coffee talk, I can inform, I can encourage, and maybe cajole a little bit, right? I hope occasionally I say some funny things and we both have a good time together while we were drinking, because let me tell you guys, here lately, it's been a lot less coffee and a lot more talk, and it's getting a little old. So it's going to be time to bring on some other guests to have coffee with me, because I'm getting to the end of these things and my coffee's cold. And that was even after my lovely wife just came in here and refilled my coffee cup too. And I let it get cold, but who am I kidding? I'm not picky, right? This coffee, I'm going to drink it anyway. So that being said, I will leave you with the words of Sam Houston after Texas became a state of the union. He said that Texas will again lift its head and stand among the nations. We believe that time is now, and the question is, will you stand with her? Good night, everyone.